Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Rivera. I am a wealth advisor at Vance Wealth. Today is 529 College Savings Day. In honor of today, we wanted to do a quick video just to go over what exactly is a 529 plan or a college savings plan and what are some of the changes that have occurred over the past couple years that could really be in benefit of the beneficiary of these plans, and how exactly do you go about them. So first off, what exactly is a 529 account or a college savings plan? So great question. This is a type of account that is a tax advantage vehicle meant to be used for qualified educational expenses. For years it was meant just for college, but back in 2017 they made essentially an exception and they added this into these type of plans that you can start using funds for private education for K through 12. It could be used for tuition, $10,000 a year, which is a huge win, especially for us who live in California or specifically Los Angeles. We have a lot of families here that send their kids to private education for K through 12. So this is now a huge win for those individuals. They could use this type of account to help with the tuition. Next, before we go on to what were some of the changes that occurred, I just want to make it very, very clear that whenever you open one of these accounts, I highly recommend and advise that you work with an advisor just to make sure that the investments are in line with whatever your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish, and also that the funds do get invested. I've seen it time and time again that whenever these plans get opened, investments do not get picked and the contributions just stay in the money market. Right now, that's not hurting you because interest rates are high or at an elevated level. But in a time where interest rates are low, you're not growing. So that's very important that you make sure that the investments align with your goals, because these accounts don't just magically grow. A lot of people think that they opened it, it grows, we're done. No, it's not the case. So I highly, highly recommend that you work with an advisor just to make sure everything is being done that needs to. Next, let's go over what are some of these changes that occurred. With the Secures Act 2.0, what are things that the individual that has these types of accounts, what should they be aware about? Well, back in 2022, with the Secures Act 2.0, they made changes to 529 plans where individuals who have had excess funds in these plans, they now have more options on the table for them. Previously, these weren't existing. They weren't allowed. So what I mean by that is that if you have excess funds and you meet the eligibility requirements, which are you've had the account open for over 15 years with the same beneficiary, and then the contributions in the past 5 years are excluded where you cannot roll them over. So let's say, we'll use an example. If you had a 529 plan open for, let's say, your son, we'll say his name is Jimmy, for the past 20 years, you meet the requirement, okay, it's been open for over 15 years, the same beneficiary was on there for at least the 15 years. You, let's say, did not do contributions for the last 5 years, but even if you did, those are excluded, you can't roll these funds over. You can now have a Roth IRA opened up for Jimmy where you can roll over excess funds that weren't used. So let's say, for just easy math for this video purpose, if there's $35,000 that was left in the account, Jimmy's done with college, he's all done. You're thinking, well, what do I do with all this money? Do we just take out, the earnings? We just pay taxes on it? There's actually this option where you can go ahead and roll over $7,000 for 2024 into Jimmy's Roth IRA. Huge win. Now you get to grow the funds tax-free. And then you're able to now do this every year up until you get to that $35,000 limit. So you could do, let's say the IRS doesn't change the Roth IRA contribution limits for the next 5 years. They stay at $7,000. The 529 doesn't grow, it just stays stagnant. You could then do $7,000 each year up until you get to that $35,000. Roll over the funds to Jimmy's Roth IRA, and now the funds will grow tax-free. So that is a huge change that happened with the Secures Act 2.0, where you can roll over funds to the beneficiary's Roth IRA. So I just want to make sure I'm clear about that. The beneficiary who was for the 529 plan can then roll over the funds to the beneficiary's Roth IRA. It cannot be to another individual. You got to meet those eligibility requirements. But overall, if you're checking off those boxes, this is a big win for individuals all over the U.S. that have these plans. So hope this video was helpful and informative. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to anyone at Vance Wealth. We're always here to help out.